A new TikTok trend has people drinking borax. It's often used as a laundry detergent or pesticide, but some say they found other uses for it. Now, an environmental toxicologist from the University of Guelph is urging people to stop. CTV's Spencer Turcott reports.
From biting down on a Tide Pod to chugging a blackout rage gallon, TikTok has a new trend in town.
I hopped on the borax train.
I jumped on the borax train.
I have officially jumped on the borax train.
People jumping on the borax bandwagon by adding the chemical compound to their water to create a borax beverage. It's often used as a laundry detergent, but now TikTok users are saying borax can help with a range of health issues, like relieving joint and muscle pain.
It's a powerhouse anti-inflammatory.
But an associate professor of environmental toxicology at the University of Guelph says, not so fast.
The issue with borax is that it also is going to expose the person to boric acid. Now, boric acid, there are small amounts in our food, and that's not a big deal, but we don't want to increase our exposure to boric acid because it can have adverse effects.
He says the messaging mix-up may have happened because the mineral boron has benefits in healthy doses and comes from borax, but not with how it's being consumed online.
You could damage your kidneys, you could damage your liver. There's different organs, right? Depending on how much you're consuming, it could be detrimental to your digestive tract.
The Ontario Poison Centre has not received any calls this year for consumption-related borax exposure, but in a statement to CTV News, the organization says this may underrepresent the total amount of consumption-related borax exposures as calls to OPC are voluntary and a patient, friend, family member, or healthcare provider may not deem a call to OPC appropriate or necessary, depending on the circumstances of the incident. But as the trend of consuming the chemical continues to gain traction,
Go check it out.
the messaging from experts is clear. While the insides of your washing machine can handle borax, your insides can't. Spencer Turcott, CTV News, Kitchener.
Attention North Huron Wingham Fire, please respond at the Wingham Hospital with ambulance 270 Carling Terrace. The hospital is currently closed. There is an 8-year-old boy that walked in who has drinking detergent and is drowsy. Again, ambulance requesting you at the Wingham Hospital for a medical assist. Time of first page 12:31:28. Attention North Huron Wingham Fire, please respond with the ambulance at the Wingham Hospital 270 Carling Terrace for an 8-year-old boy that walked into the closed hospital that's drinking detergent. He's drowsy. Ambulance coming from in town. They're requesting you at the front entrance. Again, that's at the Wingham Hospital for a medical assist. Time of the second page is 12:32:21. Wingham Fire, please respond.
Fire dispatch, we're here in car 4.
Go ahead, car 4.
Car 4 acknowledges page for Wingham Station for ambulance assist at the Wingham Hospital. Wingham Station, we're responding shortly.
Roger that, car 4. You're acknowledging page for Wingham Station. Wingham Station's responding shortly, 12:32:49.
Dispatch, Mark car 2 responding.
Roger, car 2 responding 12:33:35.
Dispatch, Mark car 2 on scene. Can you advise what door I'm supposed to use?
Go ahead.
Dispatch, you can mark car 2 on scene. Fire dispatch, call North Huron Engine 1.
I copy car 2, you're on scene, it's 12:36:30. Go ahead, engine 1.
You can show Engine 1 responding, 6 firefighters belted.
That's Roger. Engine 1, you're responding with 6 firefighters belted. It's 12:36:45.
Fire dispatch, North Huron car 4.
Car 4, go ahead.
show car for arriving scene, as well as Erie County EMS.
That's Roger, car 4, you're on scene with EMS at 123714.
Fire dispatch car 2, you can mark patient contact made. Patient is conscious and alert.
That's Roger, patient contact made. Patient is contact alert 123738.
Fire dispatch, you can also show North Huron Engine 1 on scene.
That's Roger, Engine 1, you're on scene at 123756.
Fire dispatch car 2, you can show fire is not required by EMS. Fire is clear. Command is terminated.
Roger that, car 2, you're advising fire no longer required. You'll be clearing 123936.
You need to stay on top of what they're doing with this social media. It's dangerous.
I think that it's a good thing that your lieutenant was trying to have a teaching moment here because, I mean, kids are, they're kids and they don't think things through and they do things that are silly. But the thing that bothers me about this as well, and I have a young son, so I'm always keeping an eye on what he's doing on his iPad, is the YouTube aspect of this. This girl apparently thought, I thought it would be funny or whatever. There is so much stuff out there that our kids are exposed to that is negative and influences them. And they have no impulse control whatsoever anyway, really. And it influences them. And it's not a good thing. So let's talk about the YouTube aspect of this.
Just think about over the past several years or since COVID hit, the number of these challenges where someone was hurt or killed. One thing comes to mind was the knockout challenge. Just walk down the street, right, hit somebody as hard as you can. You could kill somebody with one punch. Gargling with bleach if you have COVID. I mean, some of the things they put out there, and these kids, like you said, impulsively, they jump on it and think, hey, this is a wonderful thing. So what we're trying to do is, because last week we had an incident with an app called Wink, which is like a Tinder.
I saw that on your Twitter. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, which is like a Tinder for juveniles. Well, here you have a 12-year-old in Pennsylvania, thinks she's talking to a 16-year-old in Cocoa Beach, Florida, and they plan to hook up when she comes down to visit her grandmother here in Deltona, Florida. And what turns out to be that 16-year-old was a 29-year-old, and then of course she was sexually assaulted by this 29-year-old, and you say to yourself, my God, this was from Pennsylvania to Deltona, Florida, 1,300 miles away. This is how dangerous the internet is. So what we're doing is we are partnering with the Department of Children and Families. And as school gets back, we're going to start to do symposiums at night. And we want parents to come invest an hour and a half of your time, learn about the dangers of the internet, learn about how to protect your child, and learn what the consequences are going to be if they do these spoofing or SWAT calls, especially with school starting again. You can rest assured we will get dozens upon dozens of active shooter calls coming in that are going to be bogus.
And that's a disturbing thing too, because you can't not take them seriously. The minute you don't take one seriously, it's probably legit. And it is a waste of resources. It's a drain of resources, and it's just wrong. And you said that you've seen an increase in these things since Parkland when we were talking before we came on.
Yeah, when Parkland hit, I cannot tell you the number. It was hundreds and hundreds that came in that these kids thought this was funny to call in an active shooter. There's somebody in the parking lot dressed in all black. They got a big gun, the backpack, and they're walking into the cafeteria. Well, everybody's running in at 1,000 miles an hour. And that's where the danger is, because somebody can get killed in that response or injured, and you find out that it didn't happen. So I just said to my staff and my deputies, listen, investigate it as hard as you can. If you come up with the person responsible, they're getting locked up, they're getting charged with disruption of a school campus, let them figure it out. We got to send a message that they just can't do this. They actually should be spending time as part of their probation with the families down in Parkland who lost a child, and see how funny they think it is what should be happening. And then COVID hits, and it it just reignited it again once these kids came back to school, that they thought, this is funny. It's pretty cool that the school's in lockdown. It's pretty cool that all these, the armored vehicles are there and the helicopter's up and the media is there. This is really a lot of fun. It's not. It's deadly. And from a readiness point of view, how many times can you go to a call at 100 miles an hour before you say to yourself, I'm going to back off? And the one time you back off is when it's live. And that's what the danger is of that, is how it affects your readiness and your preparedness.
Yeah, it's kind of like the boy who cried wolf type of thing, and you can't afford to play that game, and neither can the public. So what